Hello, I'm Francesca, and this is your astrological energy love forecast for March 16th through the 31st. And whew, how's everybody doing? It's a super huge month with lots of major transits. We've already had one eclipse and we have another one coming up. So let's dive in. As always, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. Give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends, all those things. And always trust your intuition. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't force anything. All right. So, first and foremost, we now have Mercury in retrograde joining Venus retrograde. Yay, good times. On the 20th, the sun moves into Aries. So happy birthday to all my Aries viewers. And of course, that's the start of the astrological new year. Aries is the first sign in that calendar, right? So we have our calendar, the lunar new year, right? And now our astrological new year. So let's celebrate, right? Why not? March is filled with fireworks and Aries is filled with fire. So let's celebrate. Okay. On the 27th, we have Venus retrograde moving into the sign of Pisces. So Venus started retrograde in Aries. So now as it moves into Pisces, it's going to have a little bit of a different feel to it. Pisces is emotional, also very spiritual. So just allow whatever needs to come up. And you don't necessarily have to fix anything, and you don't have to necessarily identify with what's coming up, but just as you observe it, be more of the observer. So that's my advice. And be really gentle with yourselves, because Venus in retrograde does bring up all the things that are close to our heart, and that can make us a little more emotional than we normally tend to be. And of course, some signs are a lot more affected than others, and also depending on your placements and your Venus placement and all that good stuff. So be gentle with yourself, awareness, observe. And if you want to just ask, okay, am I ready to let this go? Is this, an appropriate time to let go, to shift, transform? So retrogrades are all about going inward and introspection, and they help us get to a new level. They help us up level. So we can embrace it or we can resist. I know which one I choose because it's so much easier, even though it may seem a little messy and emotional at the time. But when you get to the other side, you look back and you're like, oh, yeah, so worth it. All right. On the 29th, we have the Aries solar eclipse. Yay, because we're in the eclipse corridor, so 2 eclipses this month. So what's interesting about this eclipse is there's this sense of forward movement after this. And there's a clarity that comes in, which makes a lot of sense. Like we had Mars retrograde, Venus retrograde, Mercury's in retrograde, all this introspection, which at the end, then you get the clarity. You're in Aries. It's all about taking action, but it's almost like it's a smarter, more focused, more honed in action that you will be taking, which is super lovely, right? You just don't want to take action just to have movement. So you need that ebb and that flow, that introspection, get the focus, get the clarity, and then take action. Otherwise, you're just gonna spin your wheels. I don't know what that's like. Let me know in the comments, right? Then on the 30th, we have one of the biggest transits of this year, and that is Neptune entering Aries. So Neptune, one of our outer planets, doesn't normally change signs. Was it every 14 years? I can't remember offhand right now. I know I mentioned it in a previous video. So yeah, so once again, we have all this Aries energy going on, which is super lovely. And once then Venus leaves her retrograde and shadow period, and then Mercury goes direct, there will be, I think, a little more calmness to the energy than what there might be right now. There's just a lot this month. So, like I said, just be gentle with yourself, honor whatever you need to honor. Venus moving into Pisces, you may feel even a little more, not necessarily sluggish, but like sleepy. You could be getting a lot of downloads as well. So rest as you need to rest. And once again, just honor that. Really take good care of yourself so that when all of these massive transits go direct, you are rested, you're ready to go, and it's absolutely full throttle for 2025. All right. So, as always, I pulled some cards asking for support, any insights, any things that could help support you for the second half of the month. And, haha, I got three of the tarot, which we'll go through. And what's interesting is the first one that came out was Four of Fire, which we got last time. So now that means that this card is an overarching card for the month. So I'm going to pay attention and take a deeper look. So, art, super lovely, is about balance and harmony. And there really is this, which is perfect, right? Because that is all about Venus, right? So Venus is going to bring up things that need to shift in partnership, things that need to shift within yourself, your own self-love. So that's really what a great supportive card is, the harmony and the balancing of it all. And also a little bit of pleasure and celebration there. Why not? Then the Nine of Fire, and the Nine of Fire, um, to me, it's all about like introspection and trusting your own inner wisdom, which once again couldn't be more perfect for a retrograde because retrogrades are all about that inward trust, really kind of not necessarily focusing on the outward, but what's on the inward and creating your world from the inside out. And what, like I said, it just pairs perfectly and super supportive for the two retrogrades that are going on right now. And I think also honing in more and really building up that trust. And we all have that inner knowing. And a lot of times, I know this is in my own life, and I'm sure with many of you, as well as many of the clients that I work with, that the outer world doesn't necessarily sometimes reflect what's truly happening. And so we have to go inward and really tap in and be like, but what's really underneath that? What is connected to the bigger picture? And so I absolutely love this card is super supportive for that. Then we have the Eight of Air, and it's all about clarity. And perhaps, once again, with just so support once again, as you know, if you've watched this channel, there are never any coincidences. It's always synchronicity. It's always that divine timing, divine confirmation, right? So by the end of these retrogrades, you will have so much more clarity, and you may already have more after Mars went direct. You might have a little more clarity. But after these next two, even more clarity is going to come in. Then we have Neptune changing. Great. Even more clarity. So there may be something, you may be doing a whole overhaul in one area of your life, or maybe in different aspects of your life. And just doing it bit by bit throughout the year. Like, what's the first thing that needs to shift? And remember, the shift always comes from inside first. And so, really, my advice, take it or leave it, great, is to really focus on the good that you want. Where do you want to be? And focus on those feelings. Like, maybe you want to have more support, whether it's in your job or in a relationship or with friendships, whatever it may be. And then, okay, well, how can you support yourself more? So starting first with yourself and then rippling that out. All right. Somebody needed to hear that. So just put a little heart emoji in the comments if that resonated with you. Then I was guided to pull 2 more cards just for a little extra insights, wink. And the next card came from a Moonology deck, which is absolutely beautiful. A great, great woman has created this deck. She's been, oh goodness, working with the moon and the phases for at least over 20 years. Beautiful. But the card that came out, which couldn't be any more appropriate. A new start is coming, which that's what 2025 is all about. We have this new slate. We're clearing out the old debris, that which no longer serves. We're transforming, we're shifting. It's a massive opportunity for growth and up leveling. And then, haha, just talked about support. And then the other card that I pulled for an angel number was 333. And that is all about support and growth and creativity and joy. So once again, couldn't be more perfect. So lots of confirmations. So if this resonated with you, trust that you are on the right path. Just keep focusing on you right now, building your relationship with yourself, letting anything go that no longer serves you, that is holding you back from deeper levels of connection with yourself, and then in turn, deeper levels of connection with others, because it's all intertwined. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time and your view. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, share with your friends, help spread the love vibes around the world. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.